How do you do subconscious work? And how do you know it is working? These are two very good questions that was asked by a member of my email list. And thank him for those questions, because I don't think a lot of people understand that we talk about subconscious work, but they don't know how to work with it, or even if it's working. On a purely scientific level, you can actually use the EEG machines to measure brainwave activity, and then you can see if you go into a trance state, that's where the subconscious work starts to happen. So those states are usually between the alpha and theta ranges, and that's where we have our suggestive work. So the suggestive work is important because in those states, suggestions are more readily accepted by the subconscious mind. So on that level, you can actually see that you're working with the subconscious state. But what if you don't have that equipment? What if you can't measure your brainwave activity? When you have that period between wakefulness and sleep, there's a period where you doze off, and that period is a good indication that you're moving into the lower brainwave levels like alpha and theta. And that is where subconscious work happens. That is where hypnosis work happens. That is where we do our trance work. So if you are very wary of what you say, or very aware of what you say when you go to sleep, the thoughts that you have, the emotions that you have, if you turn those things positive and align them with your value system while you are going into that trance state, you are doing subconscious work. Now, to know how it is working, there are certain things that we can test when we actually have one-to-one sessions or when we work with the subconscious, and that is when suggestions are acted upon, we know the guy or the person that we're working with or the individual is in a trance state. And pain management is one of the best ones to see that the subconscious is actually working when we have pain relief. When you have catalepsy, that means the body goes into a cataleptic state and they can't move, just purely with suggestions. So in suggestive therapy, there are certain things that you look out for that the subconscious is working. Those things are quite difficult to do on your own if you haven't experienced them, if you don't know what they're about. And usually it's a mind-bending experience. Like my last client mentioned that she was in awe, and she said she never experienced stuff like this. So if she hasn't experienced it in the past, it's very difficult to relate it to the now and to hear the words and to understand that you're dealing with the subconscious and it's working and how to work with it. So in a nutshell, yes, there are ways to realize you're working with the subconscious mind. That is when you're going into a trance state or when the brainwave activity is slowed down to a trance state. And if it is working, it means there's a suggestion that's been planted and that's taken hold in the subconscious, and that suggestion usually is acted upon. So that's also a thing you have to monitor. And the most important thing you can actually do for yourself to see if subconscious work is working for you is to feel the emotional charge of an event that might have been traumatic. So if you've done emotional work or if you've done subconscious work surrounding an emotional charge, and you can speak about that emotion, you can speak about that event without having the emotional reaction, then you know it is working. So I hope these answered your questions. If you would like to answer any more questions or join my mail list to send questions and answers, you can click on the links at the bottom. Thank you.